The murder of Tiahleigh Alyssa Rose Palmer, a vibrant 12-year-old girl affectionately called Taya by those who loved her, ranks among Australia's most devastating and disturbing criminal cases. Her life was tragically ended on the 29th of October, 2015, by the people meant to safeguard her foster family, the Thorburns. On the 5th of November, 2015, fishermen discovered her body along the muddy banks of the Pimpama River, south of Brisbane, Queensland. The subsequent investigation unraveled a horrifying tale of betrayal, sexual abuse, and calculated murder, revealing profound failures within the foster care system. The case sparked national outrage, ultimately securing justice for Tiahleigh while driving critical reforms to protect other vulnerable children. Tiahleigh Alyssa Rose Palmer's early years were defined by upheaval and uncertainty. Born on the 29th of January, 2003, she was just 7 when she entered foster care, as her biological mother, Cindy Palmer, grappled with personal struggles that hindered her ability to create a stable environment. Cindy, a devoted yet overwhelmed young mother, faced financial strain and isolation, lacking the resources to care for Tiahleigh independently. Though separated, she remained tied to her daughter with love and the hope that foster care would provide Tiahleigh with the security and prospects she couldn't offer. As a result, Tiahleigh's childhood became a series of transitions between foster homes, a rootless journey that left her longing for a lasting sense of belonging. In January 2015, she was placed with the Thorburn family in Chambers Flat, a semi-rural area south of Brisbane. Rick Thorburn, a truck driver, and his wife Julene presented themselves as a stable, working-class couple with 2 teenage sons, Trent and Joshua. On the surface, they appeared to be a suitable foster family, but beneath this facade lay a household steeped in dysfunction and secrecy. The events leading to Tiahleigh's death began to unfold on the evening of the 29th of October, 2015. That day started like any other for the young girl. She attended a hip-hop dance class, a rare outlet for joy in her turbulent life. During the class, she complained of stomach pains, a detail that would later take on sinister significance. Rick Thorburn, her foster father, claimed he dropped her off at Marsden State High School the following morning, the 30th of October. Teachers, however, noted her absence from classes, and she was never seen alive again. Initially, her disappearance raised little alarm. The Thorburns delayed reporting her missing, and it wasn't until days later that authorities were alerted. The discovery of her body in the Pimpama River, partially decomposed, clad in a school uniform, and missing her shoes transformed what might have been a missing persons case into a murder investigation.
Queensland police have identified a body found on the Gold Coast as 12-year-old Tiahleigh Palmer. She hadn't been seen since last Friday as she made her way to school in Logan. Her remains were discovered on the banks of the Pimpama River on Thursday evening.
It's very important that we speak with anybody who was there over the last 7 days, and that's even if they think that they can't help us. Even if they saw nothing, that's really important to us that they come forward and tell us that they saw nothing.
The Queensland Police launched an exhaustive inquiry, Operation Viking, to unravel the mystery of Tiahleigh's death. Her body, exposed to the elements and water for nearly a week, offered few immediate clues. An autopsy could not pinpoint the exact cause of death due to decomposition, though bruising and signs of trauma suggested foul play. The investigation quickly zeroed in on the Thorburn family, whose accounts of Tiahleigh's final days were inconsistent and evasive. Rick claims she had simply vanished after he dropped her off, but neighbors and school records contradicted his timeline. As detectives dug deeper, they uncovered a motive so depraved it shocked even seasoned officers. Tiahleigh had been killed to conceal sexual abuse within the family. The key to the case lay with Trent Thorburn, Rick's 18-year-old son, in secretly recorded conversations obtained through police surveillance. later revealed to be part of a sophisticated bugging operation in the Thorburn home. Trent admitted to his parents that he had engaged in sexual activity with Tiahleigh. He confessed this shortly after her dance class, when her stomach pains raised fears she might be pregnant. In the eyes of the Thorburns, this posed an existential threat.
And I was informed later that day of everything that had happened, and she had had sex with my brother at a point I don't know when. Dad called us into the lounge room to discuss that that there was a few things happening. Trent had, it was at that point that I was then informed about what Trent had done with Tia. And Dad called us in, sat us down, proceeded to explain that Trent had sex with Tia. And I really didn't want to look at either of them. Mm-hmm. And Dad proceeded to say that we all had to protect Trent.
A pregnancy would expose Trent's crime, potentially dismantle the family, and end their status as foster carers, which provided financial benefits. Rather than seek help or report the abuse, Rick made a calculated decision to silence Tiahleigh permanently. On the night of the 29th of October, he killed her in the family home, though the precise method remained murky for years. He then drove her body to the Pimpama River, callously discarding it like refuse, hoping the water would erase his crime. The investigation gained traction in 2016, nearly a year after Tiahleigh's death. Police employed a mix of traditional detective work and modern tactics, including wiretaps and psychological pressure. Rick Thorburn, a domineering figure with a volatile temper, emerged as the prime suspect. On the 19th of September, 2016, he was arrested in dramatic fashion after attempting to flee during a police sting. Confronted with mounting evidence phone records, witness statements, and the family's own incriminating conversation, she eventually crumbled. In May 2018, Rick pleaded guilty to murder in the Supreme Court of Queensland. Justice David Bottas sentenced him to life imprisonment with a non-parole period of 20 years, condemning his actions as cold, calculating, and callous. The judge highlighted Rick's lack of remorse, noting that he had treated Tiahleigh's life as disposable.
Throughout all of the offending is made more shocking for the deliberateness of your actions and your willingness to coerce every member of your family to maintain false accounts in an effort to cover up your despicable behaviour.
The legal fallout extended beyond Rick. Trent Thorburn faced charges of incest, perjury, and attempting to pervert the course of justice for his role in the abuse and subsequent cover-up. He admitted to the sexual relationship with Tiahleigh, a crime that violated both moral and legal boundaries given her age and vulnerability as his foster sister. Sentenced to 4 years in prison, Trent served only 16 months before his release in January 2018, a lenient outcome that drew public criticism. Julene Thorburn, Tiahleigh's foster mother, and Joshua, her other foster brother, were also convicted for their parts in the deception. Both lied to police, claiming ignorance of the murder, and helped maintain the family's false narrative. Julene received an 18-month sentence, while Joshua served 3 months, their lighter punishments reflecting their secondary roles. Cindy Palmer, Tiahleigh's biological mother, became a powerful voice after her daughter's murder. Overwhelmed by grief, she turned her pain into action, advocating for systemic reform and, in 2019, filing a lawsuit against the Queensland government and fostering families. She accused them of negligence, claiming they overlooked clear warning signs and ignored Tiahleigh's evident distress while in the Thorburns' care. On the 14th of November, 2015, around 600 mourners filled the Brisbane Anglican Maori mission in Cornubia for Tiahleigh Palmer's funeral, with many standing outside to hear the service through speakers. Just 9 days prior, the 12-year-old's body was discovered in the Pimpama River, launching a homicide investigation that shook the community. Who was responsible for Tiahleigh's safety in foster care? Was her tragic fate avoidable? What measures now prevent other children from enduring her suffering? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section below.